Hello dear children, from chapter number 3, pair of linear equations in two variables. In the previous video lesson, we started with exercise 3.3 and we have solved question number 1 and all the sums from question number 1. We're going to move ahead and begin with question number 2 of exercise 3.3. Question is, solve 2x plus 3y is equal to 11 and 2x minus 4y is equal to minus 24, and hence find the value of m for which y is equal to mx plus 3. If you read the question carefully, you'll understand that we have been given two equations. We'll have to first find value of x and y, and that value we have to substitute in the given equation, that is y is equal to mx plus 3, and then we can find the value of m. So let's start solving the sum. This is what we will consider as equation number 1, that is 2x plus 3y is equal to 11 and 2x minus 4y is equal to minus 24. We will write this as equation 2. We will solve this sum by substitution method. So from equation number 1, we will substitute for the value of x. So we can write 2x is equal to 11 minus 3y, and therefore x is equal to 11 minus 3y upon 2. So we got the value of x from equation 1. Now we will substitute this value in equation 2. Okay, so substituting the value of x in equation 2, let's first see which is our equation 2. This is what is equation 2. 2x minus 4y is equal to minus 24. So let's substitute the value of x here. 11 minus 3y upon 2. So we'll first write 2, put the bracket. In the bracket we will write 11 minus 3y upon 2 minus 4y is equal to minus 24 as it is. Now if you just look at this equation carefully, we can cancel this 2. So what are we left with? We are left with 11 minus 3y minus 4y is equal to minus 24. Now here minus 3y minus 4y we will add, that is equal to minus 7y. So now our equation will be 11 minus 7y is equal to minus 24. Let's shift this 11 to right side. So we get minus 7y is equal to minus 24 minus 11. So that will give you minus 7y is equal to minus 35, and therefore we'll get the value of y as 7 5s are 35. So y is equal to 5 is the value of y here. Alright, now we want the value of x. So this value of y we will substitute in any of the equations above. That means you can substitute this either in equation 1 or in equation 2. So let's do it. Putting the value of y in equation 1. But what is our equation 1? It's 2x plus 3y is equal to 11. We got the value of y as 5. So let's do it. 2x plus 3 into 5 is equal to 11. So 2x is equal to 11 minus 15. So we get 2x is equal to minus 4, and therefore x is equal to minus 2. So we have got the value of x as well as value of y. But what we have to find out? We have to find value of m from the equation y is equal to mx plus 3. So let's substitute the values. So we get 5 is equal to m into minus 2 plus 3. So 5 is equal to minus 2m plus 3. Therefore we get minus 2m is equal to 5 minus 3 is 2, and therefore the value of m is minus 1. So this is how you have to solve the sum. Whatever sum is given to you, if you read it carefully, each and every sum is very simple, children. I always believe that this linear equations in two variable is a scoring chapter. So if you prepare it thoroughly, it's very easy to score marks, and it has got pretty well weightage. So I hope you all are solving along with me in your book. Okay, moving to the next sum. Now this is question number 3 and from the same exercise 3.3. These are all word problems. So since it is linear equations in 2 variables, we'll have to read the sum and then put the statements in the form of the equations and then solve it. So form the pair of linear equations for the following problems and find their solutions by substitution method. First sum is the difference between two numbers is 26 and one number is 3 times the other. Find both the numbers. Now since we have been given two numbers, we don't know which numbers they are. So we will first consider, let the larger number be x and the smaller number be y. If you read the sum carefully, what is given to you? The difference between the two numbers is 26. You have taken larger number as x, smaller number as y. What is the difference between them? It's x minus y, and that difference is given to you as 26. So we will write our first equation in that form. X minus y is equal to 26 is our first equation. The next line is one number is 3 times the other. So how will you put this in the form of an equation? So for that, our number is x, greater number is x, and it is 3 times the other number. So x is equal to 3y is our equation 2. Now in linear pair, when you have to solve the value of x and y, we need two equations and now we have it. Now we'll have to solve the sum. Since we have to solve it by substitution method, we will put x is equal to 3y in equation 1. So let's do it. Our equation 1 is x minus y is equal to 26. Now by substituting the value of x here, we are substituting x is equal to 3y. So we get 3y minus x is equal to 26. That will give you 2y is equal to 26 and that will give us y is equal to 13. So we got the value of y. Now we'll put this value of y in equation 2. Our equation 2 is x is equal to 3y. So we get x is equal to 3 into 13 and 3 into 13 is 39. So x is equal to 39. So we have got both the values. The value of x is 39 and that of y is 13, and this is the solution of the given equation. So we can say our first larger number which we have taken as x is 39 and the smaller number is 13, and this is what is our answer. Okay, this was the most easy and simple sum. So probably they may ask this sum either for 2 marks or for 3 marks. And such simple sums are always there in the exam. So you need to attempt it. Okay, moving to the next sum now. This is the second sum. The larger of the two supplementary angles exceeds the smaller by 18 degrees. Find both the angles. Now I hope everybody is aware of the supplementary angles. You know that the sum of the supplementary angles is 180. What we are given, the larger of the two supplementary angles. If you see here, the green part is the larger angle and the red part is the smaller angle. So what we'll do, we'll consider the larger angle as x and the smaller as y. So we'll write like this. Okay. Now according to the condition, the larger of the two supplementary angles exceeds the smaller by 18. In simple language, it is given that the greater angle is more than the smaller angle by 18. So I can just write it like this. X is equal to, x is the larger angle, that is equal to, your smaller angle, that is y, and plus 18. Either I can write like this or I can just put it in this manner, x minus y is equal to 18. and this we'll consider as equation 1. But for solving the linear equation in two variables, we need two equations. So what can be our second condition? Our second condition is x plus y is equal to 180, because the angles are supplementary angles and the sum of supplementary angles is equal to 180, and this we will consider our equation 2. Now you've got both the equations. Now it's easy to solve. So from equation 1, that is x minus y is equal to 18, we can substitute the value of x, which is 18 plus x. This value we will substitute in equation 2. So x plus y is equal to 180 is our equation 2, and we are substituting the value of x as 18 plus y. So our equation becomes 18 plus y is equal to 180. Open the bracket and solve it. So we'll get 18 plus y is equal to 180, and this y plus y is equal to 2y. So we'll get 18 plus 2y is equal to 180. So 2y is equal to 180 minus 18, and 180 minus 18 is 162. 2y is equal to 162, and so y is equal to 81. So between x and y, we have taken our smaller angle as 81. So the value of y is 81. Now you have to find value of x. So that is very easy. We'll put this value of value of y in equation 1. Equation 1 is x minus y is equal to 18. So we'll write it like x minus 81 is equal to 18. So x is equal to 18 plus 81. And so x is equal to 99 is the greater of the supplementary angles. So our answer is the larger angle is 99 and the smaller angle is 81. Clear? Okay. So moving to the next sum. This is another very good interesting sum. Just have a look at this. A taxi charges in the city consists of a fixed charge together with the charge for the distance covered. For a distance of 10 km, the charge paid is rupees 105, and for a journey of 15 km, the charge paid is rupees 155. What are the fixed charges and the charges per kilometer? How much does a person have to pay for traveling a distance of 25 km? Now you need to understand the sum, children. See, you can relate it with your day-to-day life. When you take an auto and you have to go very, less distance. So even if you have to go very less distance, the minimum charge of rupees 18 you have to give. Alright, so suppose say from Rutu Estate to our school, if you have to travel, then also the charge is 18. So the minimum charge is a fixed charge. That is for the first kilometer charge. That's rupees 18. So you travel either 1 kilometer or less than 1 kilometer, you have to pay 18. That's the fixed charge. And after that particular distance of 1 kilometer, if you travel, then the charges changes. So in our sum, what will we consider? We'll consider the fixed charge as x, alright, and the charge per kilometer after that fixed distance, whatever per kilometer charge is there, that we consider as y. Alright, so what are we given? For a distance of 10 km, the charge paid is rupees 105. So the fixed charge plus after that certain 10 km distance, and the total charge comes to 105. So how will we write? The fixed charge plus 10 into charge per kilometer is equal to rupees 105. because we are given that the distance is 10 kilometer. So we have written as 10, and after that the charge per kilometer that we don't know. So that per kilometer charge we will consider as y. So considering this, how will we frame our equation? We have taken our fixed charge as x plus 10 into what is the charge per kilometer? It's y is equal to 105, and this is our equation 1. Now what they say that for a journey of 15 kilometer, the charge is 155. So x plus 15 into y is equal to 155. This is our equation 2. So we have got both the equations. Now we have to solve it, find the value of x and y, and after that we have to find what is asked to us. Alright, so let's check out. So from equation 1, that is x plus 10y is equal to 105, we can write x is equal to 105 minus 10y. This value we will substitute in equation 2, and our equation 2 is x plus 15y is equal to 155. Let's start substituting the values of x here. So we will have 105 minus 10y plus 15y is equal to 155. Let's open the bracket and solve the equation. So we get 105 minus 10y plus 15y is equal to 155. This minus 10y plus 15y is 5y. So we'll write it like 5y is equal to, we are shifting 105 to right side, so it will be 50, and that will give us the value of y. So we have calculated the value of y. Now we'll find out what is the value of x. Let's solve it. Putting this value of y in equation 1, our equation 1 is x plus 10y is equal to 105. We'll put the value of y as 10 here. So it will give us x plus 10 into 10 is equal to 105. So x plus 100 is equal to 105. So x is equal to 5, and so we have got the value of x here. Alright, so what have we considered? We have considered the fixed charge as x, and that we got as 5. And the charge per kilometer is y, and that we have calculated as rupees 10. But the sum doesn't end here, because what we have to find out? We have to find out the amount paid by the person for traveling 25 kilometer. So how will we calculate that? The amount paid by the person for traveling 25 kilometer will be equal to first fixed charge plus charge per kilometer into 25. So how much is the fixed charge we have calculated? We have calculated the fixed charge as 5 plus how much is the charge per kilometer? It's 10. And how many kilometer? 25. Solve it. So 5 plus 250. 5 plus 250 is 255. So the person has to pay the charge as rupees 255. Alright. And the auto rickshaw which runs on the road, it's the same thing which they apply. First is the fixed charge, and then for every kilometer the charges changes. Alright. Okay, moving to the next sum. This is also very interesting and nice sum. The fraction becomes 9 by 11 if 2 is added to both the numerator and denominator. If 3 is added to both the numerator and denominator, the fraction becomes 5 upon 16. Find the fraction. Now children, fraction you all are aware that it is in the form of a numerator and the denominator. So we'll consider the numerator as x and the denominator as y. So what will be our fraction? It will be x upon y. Let's understand the conditions now. They said fraction becomes 9 upon 11. But when you add 2 to both the numerator and the denominator. So let's see this. Numerator plus 2, denominator plus 2, that will give us the fraction as 9 upon 11. But we have taken numerator as x and denominator as y. So it will be x plus 2 upon y plus 2 is equal to 9 upon 11. And I told you that we have to solve this by cross multiplication. So first you will multiply 11 into x plus 2. So it will be 11 in the bracket x plus 2 is equal to, now multiply this, 9 into y plus 2. Now multiply this x 11 with the bracket and 9 with the bracket. So you get 11x plus 22 is equal to 9y plus 18. Now shift the terms properly so that you will get the equation. So we get 11x minus 9y plus 22 minus 18 is equal to 0. But what is plus 22 minus 18? It is plus 4. So 11x minus 9y plus 4 is equal to 0. This is what is our first equation. Now see the next slide and just let's see the next condition, that if we add 3 to both the numerator and denominator, the fraction becomes 5 by 6. So add 3 to the numerator and the denominator. So x plus 3 upon y plus 3 is equal to 5 upon 6. Again we will cross multiply, and what do we get? 6 into x plus 3 is equal to 5 into y plus 3. Solve it. 6x plus 18 is equal to 5y plus 15. So 6x minus 5y plus 18 minus 5 is equal to 0. Plus 18 minus 15 is plus 3. So 6x minus 5y plus 3 is equal to 0 is equation 2. Once you get both the equation, now your sum is 80% done. Then just finding the value of x and y. So both the equations we have, let's try solving it. From equation 1, we can find the value of x and substitute it in equation 2. So 11x is equal to 9y minus 4. Alright, this is from equation 1 we got. And so we will get the value of x as 9y minus 4 upon 11. Let's substitute this in equation 2. So we get, we'll get the value as 6 in the bracket 9y minus 4 upon 11 minus 5y plus 3 is equal to 0. Now if you observe this, we cannot cancel anything. So what can be done? Because I don't want anything at the denominator. So we will multiply this equation throughout by 11 so that I can cancel this 11 from the denominator. So we will have 11 into 6 into 9y minus 4 upon 11 minus 5y into 11 plus 3 into 11 is equal to 0 into 11. When you multiply throughout, children, you have to actually multiply that number with each and every term of the equation. And that is what we have done here. Now you can cancel this 11. So what are you left with? You're left with 6 in the bracket 9y minus 4. This 5y into 11 is 55y. So minus 55y. Plus 11 3s are 33 and 11 into 0 is 0. Alright, so let's multiply and solve it. So you get 54y minus 24 minus 55y plus 33 is equal to 0. If you solve it, we get minus y plus 9 is equal to 0. So minus y is equal to minus 9. This minus you can cancel from both the sides. So we get the value of y as 9. Once you get the value of y, we can find value of x. So putting this value in equation 1, our equation 1 is 11x minus 9y plus 4 is equal to 0. Okay, when we put the value of y here, we'll get 11x minus 9 into 9 plus 4 is equal to 0. Let's solve it. 11x minus 81 plus 4 is equal to 0. So 11x minus 77 is equal to 0. We get the value as 11x is equal to 77, and so x is equal to 7 is the value of x. Alright, so the numerator, we have considered that as x, so it is 7, and the denominator is 9. So what will be the fraction then? So fraction will be x upon y, which is equal to 7 upon 9. Okay, so simple sum, easy to understand and easy to solve as well. The thing is that in solving linear equations, you have to be very careful for shifting the terms and be careful for checking the signs. Otherwise you go wrong then. Alright. So children, this exercise 3.3, in the previous video lesson, question number 1 was already done. So today we have solved question number 2, and from question number 3 we have solved first, second, then we have solved fourth sum and fifth sum. Question 3 is for your homework, because I'm sure you will be able to do it. So here is question number 3 for homework, and along with that you are given one extra sum also. Please solve this extra sum and check your answer, because the answer is also given for you to check whether it is correct or not. Alright, so see you all in the next video lesson. Until then, please take care of yourself and do not forget to do the homework. Bye and thank you.